Sumer, the cradle of civilization, where agriculture first took root in the fertile valleys of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Here, in this ancient land, the Sumerians built the world's first cities, developed writing, invented the wheel, and laid the foundation for laws, mathematics, and astronomy. Their innovations echoed through history, influencing empires from the Akkadians to the Babylonians and beyond. But why is it that despite their numerous contributions, today we know so little about them? What happened to the Sumerians? Sumer is located in modern-day Iraq, Kuwait, and Turkey. It was here around 3200 BC that the Sumerians emerged. Unlike many civilizations that preceded them, the Sumerians were not nomads. They settled down and established agricultural communities. They domesticated animals like sheep, goats, cattle, and pigs and grew crops such as barley, wheat, and vegetables. This agricultural surplus allowed for specialization of labor. Some Sumerians became artisans, creating beautiful pieces of art from bronze and stone. Others became merchants, traders, and eventually rulers. As the population grew, so did the communities. By 2800 BC, several Sumerian city-states dotted the landscape, each with its own patron deity. There was Yor, the holy city of the moon god Nana, home to the famed royal cemetery where the remains of 2,100 individuals have been discovered. There was Uruk, where the demigod Gilgamesh ruled. Lagash, with its patron goddess Ningal, and Kish, the religious and cultural center of Sumer. These city-states were independent, often at war with one another, but they shared a common language, culture, and religion, which helped to knit them together as one people. But what made Sumer so great wasn't just its cities or its cultural achievements. It was also the result of innovations that improved the lives of ordinary people. The Sumerians developed irrigation systems to water their crops and store water in canals and basins. They kept detailed records of agricultural production and used that data to make informed decisions about planting and harvesting. They even invented the plow and the sickle, tools that are still used today. Their innovations weren't limited to agriculture. Sumerians were also responsible for some of the earliest examples of brick making, using a type of kiln that allowed them to produce large quantities of high-quality bricks quickly. They also developed the world's first known system of weights and measures, which helped to standardize trade and commerce. And it was in Sumer that the concept of zero was developed, laying the foundation for modern mathematics. However, Sumer's glory days were not destined to last. Around 2350 BC, the empire was rocked by a series of invasions by nomadic pastoralists from the north. These invaders, known as the Akkadians, were led by the legendary Sargon the Great, who went on to conquer all of Sumer and establish the world's first known empire. Though Sumer would regain its independence a few centuries later, it would never be the same. The following centuries saw the rise of the third dynasty of Yor, a brief period of stability and prosperity, followed by another wave of invasions, this time by the Sumer was now part of the Babylonian Empire, and its cities were sacked and destroyed. Many Sumerians fled to the Persian Gulf, never to return. Those who stayed behind were absorbed into the dominant culture, and with them, Sumerian culture and language died out. Though Sumer fell victim to outside forces, internal conflicts may have also played a role in its demise. As early as 2600 BC, there is evidence of growing disunity among the Sumerian city-states. This disunity may have been caused by a number of factors, including overpopulation, environmental degradation, and the introduction of new ideas and religions from neighboring cultures. Whatever the cause, the result was a weakening of Sumer's political structure, making it more vulnerable to outside attack. In the end, the Sumerians, like many other ancient civilizations, were unable to overcome the challenges they faced. Their cities were destroyed, their culture was suppressed, and their innovations were either forgotten or taken for granted. But their story doesn't end here. You see, though the Sumerians are long gone, their legacy lives on in the myths and legends that have survived for thousands of years. Stories of the Great Flood, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Tale of the Bull of Heaven, and the Journey of Utnapishtim, the only human to have reached the end of the earth. These stories are not only fascinating in their own right, but also provide valuable insights into the Sumerian worldview, their beliefs, values, and way of life? So, while the civilization may have crumbled, its spirit endures in the tales that have echoed through the ages. Thanks for watching!